This is going to be all about finishing October super strong. I know for some of us, we've used our codes, and some of us have just used a couple. Some of us still have a lot of codes. I've been talking to different people on the team, and I've been hearing a lot of life happening to a lot of you guys. So I want us first, just like, let's just take like a really big, deep breath right now. I feel like we all need it. It's like a really big, deep breath and just whew, let it out. Okay. I really want you guys to see yourself at the finish line. I know for some of you, the finish line may look really, really far away right now, but whatever it is that you told yourself you were going to do this month in October, October is not over. Okay. I just want to remind you guys that October is not over. Yes, we're like halfway through it, a little more than halfway through it, but we still have like a good solid 2 weeks left. And a lot can happen in 2 weeks. I want to remind you, there's people in this company that have gone from zero to Ruby in a matter of hours, in a matter of days. And we have a tremendous gift on this team in that if we collectively put all of our codes together of how many that we have enough to make 30 brand new rubies. That's huge, you guys. That's huge. That means 10 new rubies on, Taina, myself, Stacy's team. That's brand new diamonds from scratch. So a multitude of rubies. And I want us to just focus on Ruby. And if you're already Ruby, then I want you to remember what it was like to get there and make sure that you help somebody else on your team get there. Okay. Wherever the volume's at right now, I just want you to remember that the days left on the calendar and the days and the number left on your chart for the next promotion, it's just a number. Okay. It can go down at any moment. I've seen the craziest things happen, but it starts here. It starts here of what do you tell yourself you can do? Some people are going to look at 2 weeks. We've got, what I mean is what I mean, sorry, I said that wrong. What I meant by the numbers going down is like you need less and less for the promotion. I didn't mean, that's how I count it down in my head. I don't look at it increasing. I look at what do I have left? It's smaller and smaller. That's how I look at it. But some people look at it as increasing. It's getting bigger and bigger. Whatever excites you more, look at it that way. Okay, because 2 weeks is a lifetime. If you're dedicating an hour or two to your business, I'm going to be completely sincere with you, and you're going for Ruby for the first time, or you're building a Ruby for the first time on your team, that's not enough time. And I understand that some of you guys work full time, that your moms, that you have a lot of stuff going on, that your kids are in school, this and that, but the hustle is real, especially when you're going diamond. When I was going diamond, I couldn't even tell you how many hours a day I was working because I didn't know. It was like it felt like from the moment I opened my eyes till the moment I closed my eyes at night. And I was waking up really early and I was going to bed really late. And that volume did not move for me until I would say, what are we on the 20th? The 20th of the month. So like we were at the 20th of the month and it looked the same as it did the month before. And I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. How is this going to happen? Like this, it just seems so far away. But the closer and closer that I got, the more excited I became. And the faster the time went, and the more I wanted to do everything I could possibly do with the time that I had. It's not like a 9 to 5 job where we clock in and we clock out for 8 or 9 hours a day. Okay, that's not what we do here. However, if you don't work a full-time job and this is all that you do, you don't have a full-time job that takes 8 or 9 hours of your day, there's no excuse for you not to be putting in 8 or 9 hours of your day into your business if you're wanting to promote. Okay. I'm not talking about you're structuring a promotion. I'm not talking about, oh, my goal was to increase my volume by this much. I'm talking about a promotion is your goal, because promotions don't happen by accident. They happen by precise numbers and keeping your eye on the chart and making sure that everybody's volume is where it needs to be. And I would even say have somebody that's above you look at your chart too, because you're going to look at it so many times and you're going to cross things out and erase them so many times that you're going to be cross-eyed. And so you want somebody else to be looking at it too, to make sure that you are on the money and you are where you're supposed to be every day. And those numbers are increasing and they're going up. So whatever your goal was at the beginning of October, I don't want you to give up on it. I don't want you to say, I don't have enough time. Yes, you do. Okay. You don't need to sleep 8 hours a night. If you're not going into a 12-hour workday at your job, you don't need to sleep 12 hours a night. Okay. Like, this is the time when you sacrifice the sleep, because what you do right now is going to get you ahead for months and sometimes years in your business. I want you guys to understand that what we're doing right now is going to predict what kind of Christmas your family has. Do you want your family to have a Christmas where you have $500 extra in your pocket? Or do you want them to have a Christmas where you don't know how you're going to afford it? Because right now, there's something you can do about it. Come December, it's too late. We don't work for the month that we're seeing the results. That's not what we do here. We work for what's happening 2 to 3 months from now. So if you want to go diamond 2 to 3 months from now, you have to step into your shoes and open up your planner and open up your computer like you're a diamond every day starting today, and not going to bed until you ask yourself, what would a diamond do right now? What would they be working on right now? Because I'm going to earn that promotion. I'm going to earn that bonus. I'm going to make it happen. Okay, that's the only way it happens. I'm just being super honest with you guys. We can't just wish it or pray for it. We have to do the work. We have to move our feet and we have to do the work. So if you're doing the work and you're working really, really hard, don't give up. And even on the days that you feel like nothing is happening, you still work just as hard when you feel like nothing is happening. And like everybody said no to you that day. Okay, go outside, take a walk, go put on a song that you like, turn off your phone, walk away for an hour, go do something fun with your family, and then come back to it. But don't not do anything that day just because you didn't see the results that you wanted, because the next day you may be signing up 10 people because of what you did 3 days ago. So we can't lax right now. We just can't. That's the reality. These codes are expiring at the end of this month. And that's it. They're gone. Poof, they're gone. So if you got your conference ticket and you have 10 codes right now, then if I was you, I would be like waking up every day. Okay, Jesus, I don't know where this person is, but all I know is I'm signing me up a distributor today, because I have 12 days left of this month and I have 10 codes. So every day somebody new is coming into my team. Okay. Every day. And they're going to be ready and they're going to be hungry and they're going to sign people up, and I'm not going to have to stress about anything, and it's just going to happen. It's all right here, you guys. If you're not seeing the results that you want and you're taking the actions, it's something here. Okay, so journal, pray, ask God to show you what it is you need to get over, but get over it and keep it moving, because we don't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste. 150 codes we have on this team, that is 3 brand new triple diamonds from zero. Do you know how much triple diamonds make in this company? $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Is that worth a little sacrifice? I would say hell yes, it is. And do you know what happens if you're one of those triple diamonds? That means 3 other people on your team are making $2,000 to $5,000 a month. And even more people on your team are making $1,000, $700, $500, $200 a month. So step outside of yourself and please see that this is so much bigger than you. Right now, it's not a moment for you to feel sorry for yourself. Even if you're having a shitty day, guess what you do? You open up a White Claw and you drink it and you get on a Zoom with your team. And if you don't drink, then get out some chocolate and enjoy your favorite chocolate bar, whatever it is you need to do. Scream at the top of your lungs. I don't know. Just have a moment to get it together.
White Claw. You cannot compare that to
Oh,
White
is that? I don't know. I don't even know what this is. This is like some.
It's like White Claw, but it's not.
I don't know.
It's not good. That one
doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like fruit juice. It's not even doing anything. Anyway, so it's some hard seltzer crap that's like not even as much. I don't know. I don't even drink these. So sorry about that. Anyway, you guys, we got to just get over it. That's the bottom line, whatever it is. I know everyone's been feeling some type of way. It's totally normal. It's the climate that a lot of us are going through. But guess what? You know, I'm going to read this phrase that's on my board because I often have to look at it sometimes when I'm having a really bad day. So I wrote it down to remind me. And it says, God calls his strongest soldiers to lead his biggest tribes. Okay? So you're not here by accident. And if it's hard, good. Don't ask for it to be easier. Ask for you to be better. Okay? I just want to like lay that out here. We're not having a pity party. We're going to do something about it. Okay? So that being said, and we got the vibe of what we're doing here, I want us to kind of flip what we're doing and take it into a different perspective, okay? Just because of the fact that we have so many codes, we got to come at this from a different angle. This team is extremely talented at bringing in customers. We can do it with our eyes closed. Everybody can do it. Everybody's done it multiple times. Nobody struggles in this area. We're all good at it, okay? So tell yourself you're good at it. If you don't think you're good at it, you're going to get good at it, okay? If you're new, that's okay. You're going to get good at it. You're learning, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we get better at things. So what I wanted to propose to you guys tonight is let's use all our codes. So figure out how many you have, get together with the rest of your team, with your upline, make a plan with them one-on-one. How are we going to use these codes? Okay, if you guys have to, after tonight, set up one-on-one Zooms with your upline, or if you need to talk to me or Taina or Stacy, like we can figure that part out afterwards. But here's the game plan. All of us are really, really talented at bringing in customers. We have, by the grace of God, this pick 2, pick 3 deal that's going on until the 25th. So we have exactly 5 days to bring in a buttload of customers. So guess what you're going to do in the process of bringing in those buttload of customers that you're going to be bringing in? If they order something that is the 59 or the 75, you're going to offer them the business. You're going to say, hey, I have a coupon. Usually it's $99 to get started. Since you're already almost spending that, I can get you started for $39 more than what you're spending. And it comes with coffee. It comes with your website. You're ready to go. What do you think? Okay, we're going to come up with the messages of exactly what you're going to say. So don't worry about that part. But that's the process that you're going to take people through when you're talking to them about the products. Because you guys have all been talking about this pick 2 and the products for a while now. So it's just a matter of going back to your stories, going back to your posts and seeing who hasn't signed up yet. Who have I already talked to about this? And where did we leave off in the conversation? Okay. I don't want any of you guys feeling like you're terrified and like you don't know what to say. Okay. Because none of you are new here, with the exception of Octavia, because that's the first time I'm seeing her name. So I'm going to guess she's new. Nobody else is in their 30 days. So you guys should have a good idea of what to say, what to respond. Okay. There's no magic sauce. There's no magic message that's just going to work for everybody, because that's just not the way it is. Okay. With the exception of Octavia, if you feel like you're not confident with what your response should be, then by all means, ask your enroller to look at it. But please come up with something yourself first, okay? Because it needs to sound like you, and it needs to continue in the conversation you already had. So, and then also, if you come to one of us to ask us, hey, do you think this is good? Please, like, do us the solid of showing us what was in the conversation, because you guys, I love all of you, but there's over 200 of you on my team. So when you guys all send me messages at the same time, like, I just want you to sit and like, I just want you to visualize that right now. I want you to like imagine like 30 people on your team messaging you at the same time, asking you to help them with a message. Okay. Do you feel like your head's going to explode? Okay. Please do the common courtesy of saying like, hey, this is where we left off, or like, this is the summary of the conversation, or like, here's a screenshot, like, this is where we were at. Okay, so now what? What do I say? I'm thinking, but come with, I'm thinking, I want to say this. Would you add something? Would you take something out? Or like, how could you make this better? But you guys, you are professionals. You've had these conversations so many times. Please have the confidence. You are all super talented that you know how to close these people, because you do, because you've signed up customers many times, with the exception of Octavia, because I don't know how many customers she signed up, and I think she's new. But everybody else here, we've all signed up customers a multitude of times. And not every single person is the same that you're talking to, but you all have the talent to sign them up because you've done it so many times before. So some people, it's going to take you picking up the phone and calling them, and that's going to make them sign up. Some people, it's going to take you telling them like, oh, look at my friend Stacy's results. This coffee's like, you got to try it. Look at her picture. Some people, it's going to take you telling them what exactly is in the product, or that they're going to get a great deal. But if you offer them something that they can't resist, they're going to say yes. And this pick two, pick three is something that most people can't resist right now, because there is something that they need to do with their health, or their weight, or the way they feel about themselves. Okay. So Octavia's gotten her 6th customer. Okay, so you're a pro too, Octavia. Okay, so we're all professionals here. We've done this many times. We've signed up a couple people, a couple customers ourselves, at least, right? Without the help of our upline. I get it. Sometimes you think, oh my God, nobody's saying yes to me. Like, I must be doing something wrong. I must be saying something wrong. Don't get stuck with that in your head, okay? Because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If they're ready right then and there to be your customer, it doesn't matter if you tell them the wrong price and you explain what the product does to them wrong. If they want to try it, they're going to try it. So it doesn't matter if you mess it up. They're still going to say yes at the end of the conversation, even if you're fumbling through your words. So just know that and be confident in that. And we're going to be using Host to Post. Obviously, you guys are all using Host to Post. A lot of you already know how to do that. Octavia, I'm going to guess that you're probably learning how to do that right now, but you're going to be comfortable with it soon. So I don't know how many of you have applied having people do Host to Post for you on your stories, but Host to Post doesn't have to be complicated either. You all do stories. Every single day you do stories. Everyone on this team does stories. You could literally, somebody that you're asking to do Host to Post for you, you could literally have them share what's on your story and tag you in it. And that's a Host to Post entry. You don't even have to take the time to like type out what you want them to post. You can have it in a picture, or you can have them take a story slide that you're going to do that day, and you can have them tag you in it. Or let's say you made a little video on your phone of you drinking your coffee, and in the video you wrote like what the coffee does, or you showed a before and after picture right after, and you send them those 2 slides that you were going to put in your story. Everybody here creates stories every single day. If you give your story to somebody else to share and they tag you in it, how many more host the posts are you going to get out a day? I guarantee you're going to get 10. You're probably going to get 15 or 20. Just because I don't know about you, but around this time at night, I have like 300 active people in my messenger. So if I ask a couple of them to post for me and it's that easy for them, they're going to say, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll do it. So I'm going to be in your giveaway. Great. Earlier this week, I gave you guys that giveaway slide that says, I do giveaways. This is how you enter. Share this story, this reel, and tag me. If you guys don't all have that, anybody that doesn't have it, I can put it in the chat and save it on your phone. But it's that easy. People could just take it off your story that day. We don't need to make this complicated, you guys. It's very, very simple. Okay. I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay. So we're going to do the host to post. We're going to keep doing the host to post. People are going to get the posts up for you continuously every day till this month ends, at least a handful every day up. Okay. Then when you're talking to them about the product and they do pick 2, pick 3, you offer them the business. If the person that hosts the posts for you gets 5 or more comments, you offer them the business and say, hey, did you know that you can get a shopping spree for just 6 customers? You already have 10 people interested here. Like you could definitely very easily earn this shopping spree. Can I tell you a little more about it? That's it. It's not hard, you guys. And then if they're like, no, that's okay, but tell me about this coffee, then they could be your customer. Or if they're like, no, that's okay. You know, I don't drink coffee. Well, do you drink tea? Because I have samples of that. Boom. You sell them a sample pack. Stacy did a whole long ass video on our team page about how to do sample packs and how to make money with samples. Okay, so whatever don't be afraid of what they say, because whatever they say is going to lead you into the next thing. And I want you guys to understand that. Just because they read it, the conversation doesn't stop and they didn't respond. Just because they read it and said no, the conversation doesn't stop. Okay, when somebody says no to me, and it happens a lot, okay, I have like 7 no's in my inbox right now that I have to respond to. Then the next thing I say to them is, can you do me a favor? Sure, what is it? Because now they feel shitty that they said no to me. I use this to my full advantage, you guys, every single day. I do. Because I'm live on my stories. I'm live on my feed. People know my voice. They see me. They hear me. They know how I am. Okay. So they say no to me. Cool. I'm waiting for them to say no. Because now you say no. So now you're going to, in my head, you're going to host a post for me or you're going to buy a sample pack. That's where I go with no. So no is not the end of the conversation. No is like leading you into the next thing you're going to ask them. Okay. So that's pretty much what I have and what my plan is and what I wanted to present to you guys of how we're going to use these codes, because we need to use them before they expire. Anybody, did you want to add something? Go.
So I was talking to Melissa about this a little bit earlier because we were trying to come up with the game plan for the Zoom and like what we wanted to talk about. And I was overhearing a breakthrough mindset thing that Ryan and Amy are doing with Denise because they earned a spot. Shout out to them for completing their steps to success. They worked really hard last month. And Denise said a lot of what's holding people back, if you're doing all the right things, there's something that's holding you back. That it could be anything, you guys. It could be like something that might sound like you don't even want to share it because you feel almost like it's stupid, but it's really not. Like there's something holding you back. So tonight, ask yourself, like, what is holding me back from moving forward? It could be anything. It could be like a previous relationship. It could be a family member. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be just something holding you back from believing in yourself, not only just to share the opportunity with people, but to actually really make people feel like this is going to help them. And if you don't believe that, people can feel that. And a lot of the times people say, well, like, I haven't done it myself. So, like, how can I help other people? And that's like the wrongest way to go about this business, because you just never know what this business can do for someone else. So tonight, I want each of you to think about, like, what is holding me back? If I'm doing all the right things, what is possibly taking up my brain space or my mind or whatever, that I can't move forward in my business, that I can't do the things correctly, or I guess not correctly, but I can't do things how I wish I could do them. For a long time, I felt like I wasn't a good leader. And even though people told me I was, it was something I didn't feel like I was. And it was holding me back. And I had to share that on 3 different cruises. And it was really hard because people were like, what? You're a great leader. And I'm like, but I don't feel like a good leader. So it was holding me back from signing up a lot of people, because I felt like even though I could sign up people, I wasn't signing up the amount of people I know I could, because I felt like I couldn't help all those people, right? Because I was busy, because I have kids, whatever. So finally, when I figured that out, I was able to say, that's not true, because I don't sign people up for me to hold their hand. I sign people up to help them change their lives. And the right people are going to stay. And the ones that don't want to do the work are not going to stay. That's not going to be my fault whether people quit or go. And I would always beat myself up for if people quit, or if I didn't help them enough and all that stuff. And that's just part of us being leaders. So people are going to quit, and people are going to decide not to run as hard as you maybe. And yes, it can get frustrating, but once I realized that that was holding me back, I was able to sign up a lot more people and confidently share this business, because I knew what it did for me and what it's done for people on my team and the experiences that I had and all of that. So it could be nothing to do with this business. For some people, it's in this business. Maybe you've been in this business a few years and you feel super like down that you're not where you're supposed to be. Maybe you've promoted and you're not making as much money as you used to. Like, it could be so many different things. So I wish is Amy awake? My sister was taking a nap because she has to go do something, but she explained it way better than I did, because she was actually doing the exercises, and Denise asked a bunch of different questions that she wanted them to write down. And I'm hoping to do that with you guys next month. But you guys, this business has a lot to do with confidence as well. And if you're not confident in yourself, and there's so many different things again that you can be unconfident of, but if you're not confident in yourself, people can feel that. And they're not going to feel as confident to sign up with you if you're just like, well, I just joined, or maybe I've been here 3 years, and people ask too, right? They ask you at the worst time, like when you're going for a promotion or you're really close, and then they're like, how much money have you made? And it just throws your whole vibe off. How many people do you sign up? And it's like the dumbest question, because it doesn't matter where you're at. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you just got started yesterday, or if you're a diamond, or if you're a double diamond already. People will ask you that, but it doesn't matter. You can be where you want to be, and you can help people get there, even if you just signed up yesterday. I don't think you guys realize that. Like, you can sign up 20 people today if you decided to. It's really just you deciding that, hey, I'm going to make this happen, no matter what it takes, like Melissa says, whether that's working most of your day because you're home anyways. Like, I know the days that I take off, I'm like wasting the whole day. I'm like, I could have cleaned my house, I could have done all this stuff, but I did nothing. So I don't want you guys to spend 8 hours on your phone, but if you're willing to like do whatever it takes, you're going to do whatever it takes. And that doesn't mean that you have to sit on your phone for 8 hours. Literally, you can break your day up, wake up an hour early, get an hour in, then have a midday power hour, then have a night power hour, whatever works for you. I think when we say like a regular 8 hour, it's kind of exaggerated, because honestly, the task list that we have is so easy to do if you just schedule the time to do it. Literally, when I sit down and do it, it takes me like less than an hour, and I'm done with everything. And my whole day is like, open for me to just answer messages, of course, but spend time with my family, make dinner, do the things that I need to do. It's more about prioritizing my day. So think about that tonight, write it down, because I think that's the hard part of this exercise.
Well, let's do it right now. Why are we going to waste time about later? No one's going to do it later. Let's just be honest. We're all going to be tired.
Because
want to go to bed.
It's something that we have to do, and then everybody has to read their letters, and we have to go through it and like get through everybody's what's holding them back, and that could be like a 2-hour thing. And I don't feel like,
let's ask right now in the chat, anybody that wants to give their honest answer, because you want an honest solution. What is keeping you from getting the codes that you have in your possession right now used. I could tell you what it is for me, but I can't tell you what it is for you. But if each of you asks yourself that, you're going to get to an answer, right? But it's only if you get to an answer of why it's not happening that you can actually do something about it. So,
And most of the time, what we believe is holding us back is not even really something holding us back, you guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why some people don't even share it, because they feel almost silly to even share it. Or it's something that happened a long time ago and you're almost embarrassed to even let it out. But it's like there, it's like there. I mean, these girls were sharing the craziest things, and these people have been in the business for a long time, and some of them have hit really higher levels in the company, but it was still holding them back from the next level. So if you guys want to share, you can, and then we can talk about it real quick. Thank you, Sylvania. So let's see, let me give an example. Like for my sister, I think she shared, it was like her previous relationship, someone making her feel unworthy, what Julissa just said, making her feel like she wasn't important, like, making her devalue herself where she doesn't even feel like she deserves anything, not even another human next to her loving her. Like literally it was crazy. But that alone, her releasing that and saying it out loud to people was helping her let it go, and she felt 100 times better, and she woke up running, you guys. Like I think she messaged like 100 people today. There you go. Thank you for sharing, you guys.
okay, you guys, this is the only way we're going to get to like actually changing your direction. Because you all know what to do and you know what work has to be done. So why is the work not happening? Or why are you, or maybe you are doing the work, but you're not getting the results. So why are the results not happening? It's because
a lot of the time, and what's crazy is that a lot of the times it's what people say, or like what other people that are in our lives that we wish would give us approval. But really think about it. Like, we don't need their approval, you guys. Like when I decided that I was going to do this, whether my sister liked it or not, or my mom, or people judged me, like people still laugh at me. Like I talk about the craziest things, but then I realized like I'm not going to get where I want to get to if I'm depending on other people's approval. And it doesn't matter what they think, even if it's your sister or whoever.
Okay. So everything that everyone is saying and responding in the chat, I have literally thought this about myself at some point in time. And on my really bad days, sometimes that's my default of me giving myself an excuse of being, not having my shit together enough to do what I need to do, or not being organized enough. That's also an excuse that I say to myself sometimes. You don't need to be organized. You just need to get the stuff done. It doesn't have to come out perfect. It doesn't have to be a certain way. So let's take some of these on, and
why are you okay? So the question for Sylvania is, wait, when you say choosing, what do you mean by that? Like, do you go around and like choose this girl would be a good distributor, this girl would be a good customer? Is that what you mean? Because that could be not a problem, but that could be what's holding you back from signing people up. You're not asking everybody, you're choosing who you think would be good at this.
That could be it. Yeah, because I have been focusing more on who would be better.
I look at people like everybody needs this.
Okay.
Every person that I come in contact needs to hear it. And if they decide not to do it right now, that's fine, because they're going to continue to watch me. But honestly, I talk about the business and then I convert them into a customer if they don't want to join the business. I talk about the business way more, and you guys see that.
I could tell you for me, like what got me out of that way of thinking is that I don't know who's going to be good at this or not. The only way I'm going to find out is after I enroll them, what they do or what they don't do. It is literally, you can think that someone's going to be so good and you sign them up and they do nothing. And then you can think somebody is just like, oh, I don't think they're going to do a whole lot because they don't seem like they have confidence. But then that's the person that has, you know, a negative $250 in their bank account. They don't give a fuck what they have to do. They will do it because they need $250. So they're going to take every single ounce of advice that you give them and they're going to run with it. And I've seen that happen so many times. Like the people that I think, oh, they're going to be great. People surprise you constantly. You just have no idea who's going to run and who's not. And that's not for you to say. You're just not going to know till they come into your business. But, you know, Sylvania, you bring up a very good point. What you can start saying to yourself is, God put me in the path of the people that are supposed to be on my team. Make it so obvious to me that they're supposed to be here that you're practically slapping me in the face. Like I should just see it clear as day. Give me a sign that this person's supposed to be on my team. Give me a sign that this is a person I'm going to walk on stage with and be a top enroller with. You know, that's a God question. And as soon as I started enrolling people like that, I didn't even think about that anymore. Because that's like a me personal question of like my ability of me to decipher who's going to be good and who's not. And I don't know that, but God does. So when you, like you said on Monday morning, when you bring God into your business, everything opens. Everything
And I
opens
did.
up. Yeah.
I did today. I turned it around and I
Perfect.
went into a little prayer talking to God. And I was walking by and my tenant passed me and we started talking. I went over, sold her a sample pack of Confianza, 5 days, and a tea and a sleepy tea. And she is going to have that tonight and talk to me tomorrow about enrolling because she is going to be my new DT.
There you go. See how you just said that with all the confidence in the world? Why? Because you felt that nudge, like, okay, Jesus, I hear you. I got to go talk to this girl right now and give her these samples. Okay.
Okay,
I heard
Amy's
you.
gonna
Let's
say
go
it
do it.
because she woke up. She said it way better than me. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So Denise was saying that you can be doing all the right things, you can be posting every day, you can be messaging all the people. You could have messaged every single person on your entire friends list, but you're still not getting the results that you want. And it's because you're either holding on to something mentally or physically that's blocking you from getting to where you want to be. So one of the exercises that we did is to basically write a letter to yourself. So you would say like, dear, and it's, you legit write out a letter, take a piece of paper and you answer these 4 questions and you say, dear so-and-so or dear whoever your name. I am angry that I am unable, and you answer that question. Then I feel like I've made mistakes that impacted myself and others because, you answer that. I'm afraid I will never, whatever the answer is, and then you apologize, you say, I'm sorry that, whatever. And you finish that by saying, I did the best with the information that I had at the time. Now that I am better, I will do better. And all you can do is learn from your mistakes. You literally, that's it. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody goes through different things. You can't be hard on yourself for making those mistakes because you wouldn't be who you are now if you didn't make those mistakes. Oh, Denise.
You're so funny.
That is amazing. Can you put those questions in the chat so that everybody can do that exercise tonight? Because I feel like everybody needs to do that.
And we can definitely do it together too, like later on, but it's a process because everybody would have to read their letter. You might get emotional. You know, like Amy cried twice. Everybody cried. Me and Melissa have done this on the cruise. Not exactly the same, but something super similar. And you guys, it literally changed, I feel like, my whole life. I never thought about it again. Literally, never. And
But
now
I
that I
feel
think
like-
about what I talked about on the cruise, what I wrote my letter to, I don't even think about it.
But even though you did that, and I did that too, things pile up over time. So there could be something
And
else.
that's what she said. She said, if you guys need to write more letters
Right.
to different things, do it.
And then we did another one.
Sounds
She
like
did say that.
something you can do from time to time, and it would be really good. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a couple more of these.
There's a whole nother section of the exercise. They did that, and then they did some questions, right?
We did another part, which is the other part.
So next time Denise has a contest, everybody needs to earn a spot. Because I'm telling you, this stuff is gold. She spent almost like 2.5 hours with you guys, huh? She's a millionaire. It was 10:30 at night, her time. She could have been in bed, okay, waking up early with her kids because she wakes up early. And she was like on there giving all her time. Like, so.
Okay, let me address this because I've seen it multiple times from different people. Confidence and feeling worthy. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute because I think it's something that comes up for everyone at some point in time in your business. And it could be just coming right in that you feel that way, or it could be something happens and then you feel that way afterwards. And it's like a repetitive kind of like cycle that you feel yourself coming back to. And just to tell you and let you know, that is completely human nature and it's totally natural. Okay, so you're not always going to feel confident 100% of the time. And you're not always going to feel worthy 100% of the time. Every single time that you go out and you step into a different level of yourself and you go and start to go after something that you've never had before, this is going to happen to you.
Wait, Amy just said something that was really important in this exercise. Say it again.
The whole point of the whole exercise, which ties into like
No, I'm not.
The whole point is as you're making these mistakes and learning, you're becoming, each mistake and each thing that you go through your life is an onion layer. We're all onions, even if you don't like the vegetables. You go through that experience and you peel off that onion layer. And she would literally tell us to shake off that onion layer and like grow into who we're being. And that person now, we're a completely different person than we were years ago.
So
We
it's
peel off
releasing different layers.
and layers to become who you are meant to be. Peeling off
Yes, exactly what I was about to say. Your brand new skin, literally, a brand new layer of yourself, and it's tender and it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Like, oh, am I really supposed to be here? But I was over there, and that's how my life was 2 months ago, and now I'm over here. And it's uncomfortable, but it feels good. And I want to see what's going to happen next, and what's going to happen next, and what's going to happen next, right? So confidence, how to boost your confidence and your worthiness as you step into these layers of yourself, it's a consistent thing. Okay, that's never going to go away. I'm sorry to tell you. So if you feel that way, good. I'm glad you're identifying that you feel that way because it's good. We're getting somewhere. But your confidence and your self-worth, it should come from inside of you. It should never come from anybody outside of you or anybody validating you or anyone's opinion or anything that's coming at you. And things are going to come at you, believe me. But you have to remember that when people come at you and things come at you, statements come at you, people are, and Veronica, I'm going to tell you to go and read The Dream Giver. Okay, I've said this multiple times. There's a whole chapter on it about bullies. You need to read it. It's going to make more sense. Every single time somebody comes at you about something that they see that you're doing that makes them uncomfortable, you have to remember that it's about them and it's not about you. Because in their head, they're saying, her and I, we come from the same place. So how is she on this level over here at the top of the mountain and I'm down here? We came from the same place. We came from the same background. Why does she get to stand up on the top of the hill and overlook the valley and I'm over here down here still struggling to get up the mountain and she's already at the top? So it's human nature to want to pull that person down to where you are because it makes you feel comfortable. So my friends, when somebody comes at you and makes you feel shitty because of your post, or they feel the need to criticize you, or they feel the need to condescend you, you have to look at it from their perspective in order to be okay with it, because in actuality, it has nothing to do with you. Did I blow somebody's mind right now? Because the first time I heard this, I could see that it was 100% true. Even though I didn't feel like it at the time, I still felt attacked. And I still felt like, why is this person coming at me? Like, what is happening? Like, how am I going to get through this? This is so embarrassing. Like, they're telling people things about me that are not even true. And they're going and saying this to people that I admire and respect. And I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? I felt so embarrassed. I felt like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Are they going to believe what's being said about me, because they don't know me that well? You guys, somebody came for me, okay? And attacked who I am as a human being on a cruise that I was on with top income earners, okay? Do you know how that made me feel? And I am still here telling you the tale of how that went, okay? But the only thing that calmed me down is when I heard that statement.
Denise was
nothing to
talking
do with you.
about, it's funny that you said that. Denise was talking about somebody that was her very close friend. And I've never heard her say this. I was shocked because Denise, if you know her, she's not drama. She doesn't even tell people any drama. She doesn't gossip. And this was an exercise, so it wasn't gossip or anything, but she had said that somebody on her team that was very close to her, was her friend, a very close friend, that's like me and Melissa, left her team, signed up with someone else and took some of her team. And she said for a long time that affected her and hurt her business. She said she would go to events, didn't even want to be there, with like mad. And I couldn't even picture that when she said it. I'm like, Denise, no. And she said for a long time, Black Diamond, Denise was upset about that. Black Diamond, she makes $100,000 a month. You guys, you think there's no worries the year. Like, it's not always about money. Things can hold us back.
Yes.
So she did share that on this exercise they had, but I'm glad she did, because it opened, I hope it opened Amy's eyes, but I've been in the business 5 years. So it opened my eyes to think like, what can really hold us back? It sounds so silly, you guys. And she said, what I learned from this is that maybe she didn't see our friendship or what a friend should be like I do, because we all see things differently. I saw this as a very important person in my life. She was my close friend, but maybe I wasn't the same thing to her. Like, you just never know, you know? Amy, how did she share that part about her friend? I don't know. It was really good. Honestly, I wish all of you could have been on that. But she was saying, like, sometimes other people, especially if it's your family, that's why I said this, family, close friend, they're not going to see things the way we see it, you guys. They're not. We have to like move on from that, because that will hold you back, especially because it's your family and your close friends. And when I joined this business, all my friends stopped talking to me. My best friends, like people that I sat in cancer treatments with every single day. My best friend had cancer. I sat with her every day. And when I joined this business, for like 6 months, I went to treatment with her every day, left my family for hours. Treatment takes all day. And when I joined this business, she stopped talking to me. We were not friends anymore. That hurt me. And I had to let that go. So especially when it's close friends and family, you guys, it's really hard. But I promise you, sometimes they just don't see it the way we see it.
She went into that a little bit because she was saying when the next part of the exercise that we did was we were then writing a letter to someone that had hurt us that we were holding resentment towards, because first letter was to get rid of guilt and anger towards yourself. The second letter was to get rid of resentment and bitterness that you were holding inside towards someone else, because regardless of whether you've let go of that, it was 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, even, it's still, if it's enough to where you talk about it to somebody when you haven't talked about it and it makes you cry, it makes you break down, it hurts you inside, you choke up a little bit, you're still holding on to it regardless. And that emotional blockage or mental blockage is preventing you from being where you want to be. It's one of those onion layers that you need to shake off, you need to peel off. And so she had talked about that friend that hurt her because one of the questions in that second letter was, what is unrealistic about having expectations? Because the first question is, what expectation did they fail or violate? So I'm thinking, this person hurt me and did these things. But then the second question is, what is unrealistic about that expectation? And I'm thinking it shouldn't be unrealistic to expect someone to want to be there for you or care about you, or especially if they're family or something. And she answered that question by saying, to that person, they might not consider that a realistic expectation. In their eyes, they might not think it's a normal thing to want to be there for someone or be honest or be truthful or be a good friend. That might not be realistic to them because they may have never had that themselves. And so that's basically the answer to that question. Some people don't always view that as a normal expectation and then don't give that to other people, even if we do. And we just have to be able to let that go and move on, even if it hurts.
Yes, absolutely. And confidence and self-worth is something that we're constantly working on, just as people, as human beings. I don't care how confident somebody may appear. There is something in their life that they don't feel confident about, and they got to work on that every day. Even people that are confident people, they have areas in their life where they don't feel confident about that area, or they don't feel worthy in that area. And so there's room for growth there, and that's totally and completely natural. Okay. So how do we turn that around? Because I'm sure everybody wants to know, how do we turn that around? Aside from these letters that we're going to write to ourselves tonight, because Amy's going to send us the questions, right, Amy? So that we know like what we're supposed to be asking ourselves in these letters. Okay, so after you write this down, it's all going to be very personal for each one of you, and you let out the cries and you get to that place of like release and acceptance, and you're ready to move on. Okay, how you can work on your confidence and your self-worth is, number one, you guys are going to want to write this down, because this is something that people do constantly and they don't realize that it affects their worthiness and their confidence every day. And it's something that people do all the time and they don't even think it's that big of a deal. And I guarantee you that you've done it probably today without realizing it. So you guys are going to want to grab a pen and a piece of paper. Is this: every time that you break a promise to yourself, you are affecting your confidence and your worthiness, because you told yourself you're going to do something and you didn't do it. That affects your confidence. If you're finding that you're doing that every single day, day in and day out, it's very slowly and unknowingly going to start affecting your worthiness, the way that you see yourself, the confidence that you have when you talk to people, all of it. If you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, because whose fault is that? Your own. You can't blame that on anybody. So number one is write something down that you're going to do tomorrow and do it. Actually do it. I don't care what it is. It could be painting your nails. It could be taking 20 minutes to put on makeup. It could be, I don't know, taking out the dog on a walk, going on a walk yourself, getting in a workout, eating a salad instead of chips. It could be drinking all your products and making sure that you do a story about it. It could be setting up your messages in your phone so it's just easier for you to message people tomorrow. It could be you wanted to get up a certain amount of host to post all week and you just haven't done it. But tomorrow, you're going to do it. Okay, so every single person here, write down something that you are going to do and you make sure that you do it. I double dog dare you to feel unworthy or unconfident after that, because you won't feel that way. It's just impossible for you to feel that way if you do what you say you're going to do. This isn't doing what you say you're going to do when your family is involved. This is doing what you say you're going to do because you made a promise to yourself and you didn't break that promise. That's where confidence comes from. And self-worth, well, why would you let other people treat you crappy if you don't treat yourself crappy? It just wouldn't happen. Those two things would not coexist, right? When it comes to worthiness. And I'm not saying that nobody needs compliments, and I'm not saying that nobody needs words of encouragement, and nobody needs, to wink at themselves in the mirror sometimes. Yeah, we all need that. We all need that on a daily basis, believe it or not. Some people need it more than other people, and that's totally natural. But I'm saying this is what you could do for yourself to change the way that you look at yourself and to move forward as a more confident person. And if you really, really struggle in this area of confidence and self-worth, like a lot, maybe there's something that you're hanging on to from the past, like Amy's saying, and maybe there's somebody that you need to forgive. It could be you or somebody else, and you need to let it go, because why are you torturing yourself? That's not a way to live. It's not. You deserve a lot better.
How about we put all the questions in the chat,
Okay.
and this weekend or tomorrow, if you guys want to do it tomorrow, we can share. And I know this is the hard part, is sharing them. But you guys, I promise, we're all here for the same reason. We're not here to judge people or to
No, nobody's here to judge you.
any of that. So feel safe sharing with us is what I'm trying to say. But when you share it, there's something about sharing it to other people. That's like a big step. Because it could be something you've been holding in for a really long time and nobody's heard it, or nobody's listened. Or maybe you wanted to share it, but you just haven't found the courage, or nobody's asked you.
Okay.
So why don't we put all the questions in the chat, and
Yeah.
then tomorrow we can hop
Let's do
back on here at night again and answer, and talk about them.
talk about it? Okay. That's a good deal. Who leads on Wednesday nights?
I do, but we'd have to do it early because I have a new DT training at 7:30.
7:30. So we would be on here at 8 tomorrow then to do
Yeah,
this?
or we could do it after, because you don't know how long it could take.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I want to add one more thing to these letters that we're going to give ourselves or write to ourselves tomorrow.
So yeah, I'll
Um,
put all the questions, Julissa, in our Zoom chat so you guys have them.
Okay, so everybody has them.
And you have to write. I'll write it all down so you guys can see what you have to do.
Okay, so after you write your questions down, I'm going to write down tomorrow, write down a promise that you're going to make to yourself and you're going to keep it. And if you want to share what it is, that's fine. You don't have to, but that's for everybody that felt that they don't feel confident all the time, or they feel unworthy sometimes. That's especially for anybody that said that. That's for you. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, for those of you guys that struggle in this area of confidence and self-worth, I want you to also, and I'll put this in the chat after Taina puts it, so you don't need to remember this right now, but I want you guys to do it because it's going to help you, is tomorrow, when you look in the mirror and you make that promise to yourself that you're going to do the promise that you're saying to yourself, and you're not going to break the promise, you're going to do it, however simple it may be. And don't make it a big thing, okay, you guys? Like, make it something simple that you can do easily in like 5 minutes. Don't make it like a big long paragraph and like 50 things that are attached to it. Just make it a one thing, one liner, okay? One thing you're going to promise to yourself you're going to do, and you're not going to break that promise to yourself. The other thing I want you guys to do is, I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to look in your eyes, look in the mirror, and I want you to say 10 things that you like about yourself. Like that, in the mirror. 10 things that you like about yourself. And you will start to see that if you do that every single day, you're going to have a whole different vision of yourself. It's going to change because you are talking to yourself differently. People don't realize how that affects them over time. When you think things that are not nice about yourself, that's one thing. But when you say nice things to yourself, that starts to change how you think about yourself too. And then it starts to change how other people see you. They will notice that you are different. And over some more time, you will see that people are not going to feel like they can talk to you that way anymore, or bully you, or say mean things to you, because they will see that you're a confident person. So they know that they'll say it, but it's not really going to change how you see yourself. Do you guys understand that? People don't bring you down to their level if they don't think you belong there. But that's their issue with themselves. Okay. Those of us that have grown up and experienced being bullied, we really understand that concept. Okay. And I was bullied as a child. So imagine how many years of this I've had to do. Okay. You're looking at me after 20 years of self-development. Not a year in this business or 6 years, 20 years of looking at myself differently because I was teased, I was bullied. People would say things to me, people would put me down. That wasn't even necessarily my family or my friends. It was like people that I went to school with, like punk ass kids would say stuff to me. Okay, so if you are looking at me now as an adult that has confidence, that is why. I'm telling you this because I know it will work for you, because I've done it for myself. And I am still a work in progress. I'm not perfect. But I can tell you that confidence, that's something I've really worked on. So I can tell you what's going to make a shift for you. You lost a friendship, a long, long friendship. It's really, really hard to let go of friendships that have lasted a really long time in your life and somebody that's just been there in your life for a really, really long time. But sometimes we have to understand that not everybody's meant to be your friend for your whole entire life. And I know that's hard when somebody's been in your life for a very, very, very long time. It's hard to adjust them not being in your life anymore and not having that friendship anymore. Unless it was a really wonderful friendship that did a lot for your life, I invite you to look at it like this. Maybe that friendship ended because God's making room for better friendships to enter your life, more fruitful relationships and friendships to enter your life, and friends that make you step into who you were really meant to be. And so that was their season. Exactly, Sylvania. That was their season, and the season is over. And if the friendship served its purpose, and maybe later on down the line, you can be friends again. Maybe you'll find some common ground where the friendship can grow again, or where you are friends again, but maybe just not on the same level of friendship as you were friends before. But I ask you to really ask yourself if you want to invite that person back into your life at that point, because you're not going to be the same person you were before when you had that very, very long friendship with them. So you kind of have to ask yourself if that's the right decision for you. I've had that happen too. Friendship for a really, really long time, and then it's just gone. And it's weird. It does take a lot of adjusting. But maybe you're going to meet an even better friend that you never would have met if that other friendship wasn't like your predominant friendship. Maybe you're going to have 5 friends that are just your best friends and you couldn't even imagine your life without them, and you talk to them every single day, and then you don't even miss that other friend that you had. And you realize, you know what, that person didn't really do much for me. That friendship was pretty one-sided. Like they got all the good stuff and I got all the crap stuff. So yeah, I understand that it's hard when the friendship's really long. But sometimes that's what's meant to happen, you know? As much as it sucks and as hard as it is to go through. Okay, I know we've been on here like a lot longer than we planned to be on here, but I just felt like this needed to be said. And I hope you all feel like you're in a better place tonight because of this Zoom. And I hope you all feel like you can let go of some of this stuff tonight, because like Taina was saying, like Amy was saying, it is baggage and it's heavy and it's time to put those bags down. Because where you're going from here on out is a much better place. So Taina, did you want to say anything else? Amy, do you want to say anything else?
We're just writing up these questions in the chat. I think Amy already sent some of them.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I'm putting it in Zoom chat because I don't want to put it in my personal chat because not everybody's on here. I don't want everybody to be like, what? So if you want to be back on here tomorrow, and even if you're not ready to share, but just like be there for everyone else that's willing to share. I'll even write my letter tonight and do I'm going to do it too. I'm not exempt from this. I'm doing it. I'm sure Melissa's doing it.
I'm doing it.
Because now that I'm thinking and it's stirring up thoughts, there is new things that I need to let go of too. So none of us are perfect, you guys. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You could do this and it's going to help. So I think that's it. You want to say anything else about it?
Even if you feel like
It was
it's
really
like
hard for
or
Amy. She
something.
doesn't like to get on Zoom and talk. And she was with her and 4 other girls with Denise Walsh. Okay. And she had to read her letter and do all that. And I was
cried to
like,
Denise.
I told her, I said, do it. It's going to make you feel so good. And she just did it. So
I cried hard to Denise.
all of them were crying. Like it was very emotional, but it was very good for them. And she woke up and messaged how many people? Like 100?
I woke up and I've had the greatest day of work I've ever had in my life. I've messaged like 80 people today. I've had so many potentials. I got all my
Oh
post
yeah,
stuff.
and she got.
I got all of my post stuff and extra things that I don't even normally do, all done within like half an hour. And I've had messages all day long. And I don't even have my phone right now. So I'm just like antsy, like ready to go. I want to work.
I love it.
We feel
That's
great.
amazing.
See what can happen when you let go? I'm like, yes, Denise, thank you.
I just
No,
want to
but-
say one more thing. I feel like everybody has to look at the really, really big picture. And that's hard to like pan out when you're going through a tough time of like, why am I going through this? When is it going to be over? And I think everyone's kind of like in that season of struggle in some area of their life. But I want you to understand this. And somebody said this to me a really long time ago. And it's always, always, always sat with me in this business and just in leadership in general. And they said to me, Melissa, if you didn't go through it, how are you supposed to teach somebody else on your team to get through it themselves? How could you give them words? How could you tell them what to do? How could you explain to them that the struggle is going to be over, that they're going to find their way out of it? How can you give them those words if you didn't go through it first? So I want you guys to see it that way, whatever it is that you're going through. And I know some of us here are going through some really tough stuff. Okay, so I'm not downplaying anything that anyone's going through. Okay, please note that this all comes from a place of love. I hope you guys feel super, super loved, because that's why we're here. That's why sometimes. That's why. And you don't need to know why. Okay, that's God's job. You'll figure out why later on. It will make more sense later. The pieces will go together in perfect harmony, and you'll be like, okay, that's why I went through that.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm sure Melissa we'll share the recording. So you can share it with your team that wasn't on here. If you want them to do it with us tomorrow, have them watch it in the morning or tonight. If they have time. Yeah, I think this is going to be good for everybody. Because if you thought this month was big, the rest of this month and next month is about to be even bigger. Okay.
Yes,
So rest of this year.
it's going to be amazing.
Are going places.
All right, bye.